I'm ready, you ready? Let's go make a mess. Hello lovelies, we're back again. Well, not on regularly scheduled program because, well, you know, it seems to be a little bit less scheduled and more when I get around to doing it. But that's okay, because things are going to happen. As you can see, I still don't have an Nacentia, though I am making use of her machines for stone. And, yeah. So now that I've got a decent amount of I'm stuck in the door. Decent amount of structure done, I figure it's time to get down to the microblocking. Well, I started playing with the microblocks and I found out that you can actually get a really good low pitch. So after playing around, I need to go do something with the roof. I'm probably going to change it and it'll probably be stone. But I figure I can do a fully ramblomatic, since I had to come back over here for tools, fully ramblomatic of, what am I doing? Microblocks. For those of you that are familiar, the thing you need is a saw. They're pretty easy to make. And it goes on an 8th system, kind of like how the base 64 is still base 8. You can split it, you get slabs. You can split those panels. You can split those and get covers. Whoa, I got another thing. I didn't split it. There, now I've got covers. So I'm going to go ahead and split that. As you can see, you get 8 when you split a block. And you can put them back together to get the panel. Add another to get a triple. And so on and so forth. Until you do all 8 and you get your brick back, which is nice because you can cut and attack them as much as you want. But let's split these up and I'll show you kind of the fun with the base 8, because typically people are just going to run with the what you're given, you know. You get a half, then this, and then this. So I'm going to attempt to just keep cutting things. I don't know. Oh my gosh, that makes a lot. So I got one of those, and I got a 2. That's a 3, and that's a 4. You need to move. And that's a 5. And a 6. And a 7, and of course the 8 is going to be the full block. What's cool is, go away snow, when you're using these, well, you see the color difference. That's actually a full stone block, and this is the AntiCover. You can actually use the different sizes to make interesting mix and match blocks, which I'll oh gosh, except that it's automatically refilling. Where did things go? Okay. As you can see, if it's too big that it makes more than a block, it'll get really testy about trying to actually put it on there. Actually, it won't do it at all. Anyway, so you kind of get this interesting look going. But that's one way to do it. Also, when you're... oh. Yay, wisps. Don't come over here. Go away. Go the other way. Oh, you're gonna come over here, aren't you? Go zap a sheep. I see sparkles. Go away. Go away. I don't want to have to chase you. This is what I get for setting up shop next to a wisp hole. Anyway, it'll only break each piece as you go. So you don't have to worry about it doing the full. No, go away. I'm doing a tutorial over here. Go away. So you won't be able to do the big ones, but if you do too small, it leaves a gap. Which is cool, because with the way that this places, here, let's get this one. It lets you place them, and it focuses to place around the edges, and you gotta get kind of colorful if you want to put one just kind of floating in the air and work with the system. Then you get spiffy floating things, as per usual in Minecraft. Anyway, that's the... stop sliding. slab cover, AntiCover. Oh my gosh, that one's taken off. Let it be a lesson. Anybody else want to teach anybody this stuff, don't do it on ice. So with each of these, you can put the thing beside it and get strips. Strips will try to place, well, that doesn't show good on a giant one. Let's get a little one. Nope. Nope. I can have coordination. We'll see. These also place side edges and all that. If you get really creative, you can finagle around which to get a vertical put in, which is both nice and maddening, because I love these for what you can do, but I hate them for how difficult it ends up being sometimes, and how you get to place 8 million just to start off. Anyway, using about like this, you can build anything. Chairs, tables. It's a floating table because I don't have the other pieces. And there we go. Oh, another handy thing with these is you can do this with most blocks, wool, glass. I don't know if you can do it with dirt. Haven't tried. Almost all of the metals. Let's see. Alright, so also another type of block for putting together is this guy, which seems kind of bland, but if you're doing a lot of wiring, not the redstone stuck to the wall wiring, but the jacketed wire, it will fit right through the middle of this, so you can really hide your wiring or make street lights out of it if you really wanted to. Whoop, whoop, coordination, I don't have it. No, I really don't have it, but you see the idea. I fail at tutorials. I show you how to get the general idea. Show how to do it. I guess those would make interesting windows too, since I don't even think I haven't tested it. It'd be really fun to do archery practice with those. The cool thing is with these, you can also get back to normal block just with 8 of them. Let's see. What else with these things? There's so much you can do with it. That's the problem. Of course, these go back together into their bits and bobs as well. Let's see, this guy. No, it doesn't work with those. Okay, fine. I'll take this one. Split this one. And it makes a post. Sometimes they make columns on bigger bits. But each one of these non-full blocks can turn into those. Unlike these, which try to go to the edge or to the corner, these go to the center, which is great for making tables. These tiny things, I think, are what get the most use, because on them I'll end up... You have to shift-click to be able to put anything against a crafting table. Useless trivia. Maybe useful trivia, if you're a decorator. So, I find those are massively useful just for making things interesting. I don't want that one. I want the thin one. Nope. Nope. Ha ha ha. And not that. Not that guy. Whee! Oh, this is a cover slab. So this is a slab plus a cover. So it's actually 5. And that can't be evenly divided in 2, so it won't cut. That's a panel, so that's a 2-fer. So that will cut. Also for when you get to some of these blocks and you're like, why are you being so difficult? Why do you hate me? That was me in recording this morning for the, whoops, first few batches I tried to do this. And you can use your corner bits to clean it up. If I'd used a panel on top, that would look even better, although that doesn't look half bad as it is. But considering I'm just derping. But it's a good way to dress up a crafting table, I think. Or do a ceiling. Or do IKEA-style chairs. Oh, another thing, when you do a slab or cover or anything on top of a column, it'll do it in the same block, which is cool because then you can jump on your tables. unlike when you try to put a countertop on a solid block and then it's too high for you to jump. Whether that's good or bad, I don't know. Depends on your usage. Let's see. What else with these? It's getting dark. I don't like the dark. Creepy things come out in the dark. Another handy bit is, like with stone, typically you place stone. Really, I'm going to throw this thing so many times. The thing that stinks about decorating with stone is when you have to break it, you end up with cobblestone, unless you have enchanted stuff. But if you are using microblocks, it will not break down into cobblestone, which is beautiful and helpful. And it's nighttime, I'm going to sleep. But that also works on glass, so I prefer to have glass slab windows than panes or blocks because, well, if I misplace, or if Creeper blows it up, if it doesn't completely destroy the block, then I'm gold. The thing that does kind of suck, and we tested this earlier, is basalt doesn't have the same blast resistance as a microblock. All microblocks have the same blast resistance, I think. Or rather, all microblocks have less blast resistance than basalt. Geez, wow. You can do edging, baseboards, molding, piece together. I saw an interesting, did I? Yeah, I did. I saw an interesting something somewhere. Oh, geez, that's way too many. Where somebody used these guys and these guys, I think, to make a sink, or maybe they didn't use that guy. Yeah. Although honestly, with it looking like this, it looks more like a grill. Congratulations, we have a barbecue. Life is good. Oh, also, one thing, when you're getting parts and pieces, you see the mess it makes of your inventory as you get and collect and have all these pieces. And you know, sometimes when you're decorating or building or whatever, you're not going to use them all, so you're going to have lots of bits and bobs. Yeah, you can combine them back up, but sometimes you won't be able to combine them back up into a full piece, which is kind of a bummer. So they do end up taking up a lot of space, but I have found out you can recycle them, which is cool. I mean, it's better than void piping or any of that. And that was a lot of information. Oh yeah, for those of you that are pixel artists, I am not. I have the utmost respect for you. You're awesome in what you do. You can, where's my saw? Split this way and then make a corner out of this. And this guy is now, really, saw, come back. This guy is now quarter size, so you can get 8 blocks in where you would only get 1, which is really nice for decorating, tiling floors, whatever, or pixel arting where you don't have to have it be 18 stories tall. I have to do the pixel art as an afterthought because yeah, it's not me. Oh, there goes blocks across the lake. All the way across the lake. Why do we live in the snow again? Alright, so I'm on fully Ramblomatic, which could be good, could be bad. Anyway, taking all of this logic, knowledge, and things I've discovered, let's go apply that over here. Of course, well, I never left roof access, so punch a hole through. Figured I'd start with the tower just because, well, top to bottom, I don't know. It seemed easiest because it wasn't a compound roof. I looked at it and I was gonna do the covers, but the covers just looked too flimsy and weak, so I went up to the too thick, which are the panels, and went ahead and did that. And even though the whole thing has a very shallow pitch, low pitch to the roof, for that one and for the one on the left right now, rather than just doing it one thickness greater with each step, I went 2 per, so just to kind of give it a little bit point. Otherwise, on something that small, it was just going to look flat. And you can see the love and hatred with trying to get the stupid block to lay the way I want it to. But I was intimidated this whole time by trying to convert this roof that was never really easy to do in the first place. So I started at the eaves. I'm like, I'll just start at the outside and work my way in, and that'll make life so much easier. Whether I'm right or wrong is anybody's guess. Another thing that kind of stinks with the acacia wood, it does not split into microblocks, which is why I ended up with the slab and stair like I've got now anyway. So I can't, since it's not microblocks, I can't put it back together either. So now I have a ton of slabs and stairs that I might end up using inside. I don't know. I mean, I used great wood logs for the flooring, but... and the great wood logs don't cut either. We'll see. Completely forgot about the porch. But then again, I'll just stick to my story of doing top to bottom, and I'll get to it later. And I'm still completely glad that the stone microblocks don't turn into cobblestone microblocks. Otherwise I would have gone through so much cold coke to refire this. One thing I was able to do before on the left front and on the right side here, I was able to do a pediment, which is that triangular opening between the roofs and then a second horizontal, I don't even know what that's called. It encloses it, it makes it not look so heavy. Of course, in Greek style, that's where they would put some statues and that of the gods, at least on temples. But anyway, with the microblocks, I didn't have that option. It was going to be solid, and that's it. However, since these are all microblocks placed on the same level, the roof inside actually looks, or the ceiling inside looks really nice. Well, finished and flat, which is nicer than the stairs I was looking at and saying, oh, I've got to fix this. Since I'd already designed most of the compound roof, it was just plug and chug, which was perhaps not fast, but, you know. At least most of the planning work was there. Of course, I forgot to take out the horizontal from my pediment before, and I'll have to get to that later. And you see, it does a nice overlapping tile look. Well, not really tile. Well, maybe tile. Minecraft tile, as close as you're gonna get. Lots of back and forth over how this one section meets up. As I keep trying things and decide they don't work and decide I don't like it and then try back. And then I had a wisp attack, so I had to go inside and try to work from below. Until it wandered off. The wisps had it in for me this day. And then we're back to these again. I know the first time I tried to do them, but they were bothering me so much. I figured while I'm here I may as well fix those. Makes the windows look nicer. However, with the roof right against the windows, that's a little bit bothersome. I still never figured out what these things are called. If anybody's better schooled in architecture than me, let me know. And I'm so smart I fell. Mercifully, falling from here isn't a fall to your death. Not exactly the thing I wanted to test, even if it was an accident. We'll go with it. And then again, I was trying to get the open pediment put back in, but I looked at it and fought with it and realized with the way the microblocks either place at the bottom or the top, but not in the middle when it's slabs and all that, I had to give up and I moved on, and I ended up putting it back the way it was. And these things did not want to cooperate. They wanted to place sideways, they wanted to place vertically, they wanted to place spaced. And I finally just, at some point, decided I needed to walk away. When they annoyed me. That one, and I popped out the roof. I ended up building it out from the corner. Kind of like how I was building a floating platform. Sometimes when it doesn't cooperate, you have to be more stubborn than the microblocks. Realized I had some windows here that I hadn't filled in, so even though I didn't have the corner covers to fill in the bottom, I figured I'd get back to that. And on to doing a porch roof, which I started with carved stone columns. I think those are like AntiCover columns, so they're really thick, but not a full block thick, which a little bit of appealing. Decided against doing double doors. I don't know why, but I just felt like there's another door behind the middle pillar. You can't really see it from this angle because I plan it when I lay these things out. And I'd climbed into the tower and was punching out the third floor windows, deciding where they are. There's actually a door going onto the roof now, out back, which off-centered the window, well, that one window. All the others are really big, lots of light on that top floor. Oh, that goes back to the Italianate style. I believe the styling of that's called like a belvedere, referencing a bell tower. It gives a good view for distance. I mean, I doubt these villas had watchtowers on them, but, you know. Oh, and then I got about halfway through the roof and decided that the porch was very claustrophobic. I couldn't center exactly between the two because I didn't have an odd number of blocks to do an even centering. So I figured I'd just go for an airy porch, and if somebody really wants to, they can pop out the windows and use the porch roof as a balcony. I don't know. Then I was starting the workings of doing a bay window over there, which I didn't have glass cut for. I had it with me, didn't have it cut. And then we went over and worked on finishing in the roof so it doesn't look so just a sheet sticking out there. It's slabs, panels, stone, carved stone, just to kind of mix it up. And this is where it comes in really nice, as I was trying to do the bay window rather than doing a solid block. I ended up having to do slabs, which let me rework it a lot. I was debating on taking it all the way up to the roof, but then I figured I'd just be redundant with a little secondary roof over the entire bay two-story thing. Realized that when there is even a quarter panel in a block, normal blocks cannot go there, like my scaffolding. Then I decided I was going to deal with the monolith. It takes down a little bit of the blast resistance when I do this, but since I lined it up with the floor, I figure between the microblocks and the plank floor, I should be alright. Should, being the operative word. What I ended up doing was, on the second story, I used slabs of both basalt and brick. And I'm going to come back and do the first floor, and on that one, to kind of give it more weight to it, I used a triple panel basalt and a cover slab cover. of the brick. You can't really tell it from this angle, but it does. It's just a little bit thicker at the bottom. And then when I went up and did the third floor, I did it again. It was, I don't know, the inverse, so that I have a nice thin little line. Alright, and that finishes that. And I got all my woods put in. See, I like the slab windows. It gives a little bit of a ledge to hop up in. Works even better in the bay windows. But first, let's go take a peek. Oh, I'm stuck. I'm going to move the ladder or the stairs right now. It's just construction access. So up the whole roof, you can see on my mini-map that there's just a line. That's this. This part here is the only bit that is a full block. Everything else up here is microblocks. And because of that, it doesn't show on the mini-map. It also doesn't collect snow. And that leads me to suspect that it might also not spawn monsters. But that would be really nice. But just in case, I put a few torches here and there. Let's not fall off the roof. Yeah, you can't really see it from here. But that's okay. So I got these framed in and glassed in. And for some reason, apparently ladders will not place on those micro blocks. I don't know if it's me. I don't know if it's those blocks. I haven't tested it anywhere except for that one area. And that's why I've got a ladder there to get on up. My amazingly finished, not even to the floor here. See, the inside is sparse, but the ceiling, here's what I was talking about. The ceiling is nice when you do the micro blocks because it's all one plane. And then I did get the bay window. I like how it ended up. Trying to figure out how to cut these so that they would look most appealing and not have all the lines through them is a bit of an entertaining adventure. I have a lot more windows to cut. This side is just kind of gray, not gray, but drab. Yes, there's the word drab. And I always get confused about where I'm going because my wall for my tower isn't even down here. I'll figure out how that structurally works later. There's going to have to be a wall here. Anyway, yes, many more windows. Doors all the way over here. I'm going to have some back doors going out to a porch, patio, balcony, garden, and get another view of these guys. And the outside of this when I ended up micro-blocking and purdying it. Oh, in pieces. So, this is where we stand right now. I'm still going to try to round up a Nacentia for next time. Again, this is really ending up being a sort of when I get around to it, because that time lapse, that's done at 10 times speed, and about like Dare says, every minute you get to see is 10 minutes of me building, plus another 2, 5, 10 of me prepping and planning and looking and wondering what I was thinking when I do something stupid. So, yeah. It's when I get to it and I try to do it. So, and you know I'm not into the machines, not when I've got a project this big. Things will be more rapid fire when it's more into machines and or digging and not really building, because watching me fight with microblocks might be entertaining only for the amount of words I will come up with to call them, because you get really creative. And being that I'm probably going to get waylaid from both sides by wisps, I'm going to tell you guys from here that y'all just... Wow, a chicken exploded. I'm going to make pie. Oh, well, I can't even go home. Chunk loading errors. Excellent. Alright, I'm going to sort this out, and I will see y'all later at some point. Until then, take it easy.